We head straight into the Volkswagen Challenge. At the front end of Class A, Rob, this class has become electric. Pepper, Kriel, Mankies, Piazza Musso, they're all in with a shot of a victory here today. But I think the man who will probably have the most experience at the circuit will be Ian Pepper, and it'll be his first time back in the Volkswagen Challenge to do battle at the track that has done really well for him in his career.
This is pretty much the Moto3 of four-wheeled car racing. The racing this season has been absolutely epic. And once again, we have 29 cars lining up on the grid, and I'm sure there's going to be plenty of paint swapping and bashing going on. As Class A's, they head off. This will be Class B under started orders now. The lights go out, and it looks like a good start there. And up next will be the C's. So pretty much racing all the way through the field here, and 29 cars are going to do battle for 8 hot laps around Phakisa Freeway.
Pepper gets the whole shot. Here's Class B heading down towards turn 1 now. And on the inside, Jacques Smith. Great start from him, trying to find a way through on the Laserfish machine. It's Adrian Wood that gets the whole shot. Right behind him, Lyle Ramsey in the Munro car. And Class C getting off the line now and heading down towards turn 1. So 3 separate starts. They haven't had any of those for a long, long time. They usually took B and C together or start everybody at the same time. This time out, slightly different. And it looks like it's worked nicely there, particularly for the first of the Posi Drive cars there. And that will be the magnificent machine, of course, of Rory Atkinson.
I love Ian Pepper's car out front with a big Husqvarna logo on the bonnet. So that's definitely the car to beat at the moment. But watch out for Stian Kriel, Valdo Meinkies, Devin Piazza Musso, and of course Wayne Masters. Don't even throw out the names like of Wayne Krause, Sean Neal, Adrian Wood, Lyle Ramsey, and Jacques Smith. They're all contenders here for the podium finish.
There's no doubt about it. Here comes the contention for Class B, and right now it is Woody. Woody leads out over Ramsey. Ramsey in second place. He's got a hard-charging Jacques Smith. Best start so far from the season from Smith, and worst start from the reigning champion. He's not even on track, so some issues there for the Posi Drive machine. Oh, and another issue there for Captain Dick as he gets out of shape at the Coke bottle and heads off the circuit. So, yeah, Chris Dale didn't quite get that one right. And
he should have the Husqvarna logo on his car.
Well, at least have a cross polo if you're going dirt tracking, that's for sure. Look at the gap that's spread out for the top 4. 5th place in Class B, unfortunately, dropped back ever so slightly. So it looks like there's going to be a bit of a battle there with the Megatron car of Needham.
Oh, look at that. Now, if you thought driving one of these cars around a circuit is easy, look at Lyle Ramsey wrestling that car. Who said the VWs don't have horsepower? Just ask Lyle Ramsey and he'll tell you they've got plenty.
Yeah, if you just shove it into second and boot it, it'll hold anywhere you want to go. But the reason he's having to fight so hard is Jacques Smith is definitely pressurizing him from the word go. At the front end, it's opened up slightly. Pepper's got a bit of a gap on Stian Kriel. It's a big gap down to Mikey's in 3rd, but here comes 5th and 6th. Masters on the inside, around his outside. What a way to go there from Wayne Krause. The Delaware car having an incredible run here, and side by side with Masters, the battle of the Waynes heading into the toe of the boot.
You ask any of these drivers, they love racing around the Phakisa Freeway circuit because there's a lot of room for them to make any kind of move they want. Inside, outside, there really is a lot of room to play for. And trying to make the move now, that is Wayne Krause trying to get ahead once again of Wayne Masters, and this is where he can do it. If he gets the drive, climbs into that slipstream, can possibly make a move on the inside.
Ramsey right onto the tail of that Laserfish machine now, and I can tell you Woody's going to make it very difficult for him to pass. They've bridged a small gap there, and a little bit further back you can see battles continuing there. As you can see, a nice ride here from Roberto Joachim, fighting hard with Udendal in the Golden Era car.
It just shows you the pace of the Class B drivers because they've caught right now onto the back tyre there of Bob Neal. So Adrian Wood, Lyle Ramsey and Jacques Smith really ought to have a turn of pace here at Phakisa Freeway. And on the inside, getting out of the way there is Bob Neal because he does not want to get involved with that big battle in Class B.
B's normally where this championship is wrapped up, Rob. Look at that. Amazing stuff. Running wide again. But you know what? They've got enough room, as you said, and they can get out there onto the dirty stuff if necessary. They are now pushing hard to try and get away from Jacques Smith. And in fact, Jacques Smith got held up ever so slightly on Bob Neal as they came through there. This is Chris Dale's point of view as they come through, and a slowing car on the outside looks like that was Sean Krause. Sean Krause in the Ancro Building Projects car pulling to the sideline and out of this first heat.
Remember, through that back section there, the right-handers, it's flat out all she's got. They do not even touch that brake pedal. They don't even think about touching it. So the corner speed that these four-wheeled little VWs carry is incredible. And like I said, this pretty much is the Moto3 class of four-wheeled racing here in South Africa. And once again, they are producing top-class racing here at Phakisa Freeway.
Votarus trying to get onto the podium at the moment. He's fighting for a podium position. He is 2nd and 3rd place at this stage, fighting in Class C with Atkinson, Votarus, Sam Dale, and Pete Phakisa. Vota. This is Class A. Look at the gap that Pepper has pulled. I told you, Pepper at this track is going to be a difficult man to beat.
He is, and Stian Creel had no answer really. Valdu Meinkies, Devin Piazza-Muzzo, and Wayne Kraus and Wayne Moss are still in that massive battle there for 5th and 6th position. But it's all about the Husqvarna man. Ian Pepper coming now through the final turn. He will come across the line and he will pick up race 1 victory here at Phakisa Freeway.
2.5 seconds over Stian Creel, so Creel's going to have to do some work in the interim. And there you can see Class B being taken by a great drive from Adrian Wood, beating Lyle Ramsey and Jacques Smith. Class C goes to Atkinson. In second place, it's Christelle, and third, Vota Roos. So there's confirmation of our results. The top 4 all out of Class A. Devin Piazza-Musa with a bit of work to do. He went a little bit better at Swartkops, so keep an eye on him as we head into the second race. Class B was all about Woody, then Lyle Ramsey, Jacques Smith. Quinton Needham beat Andre Kalitz for the top 5. And in the Class Cs, as we said, Atkinson, Christelle, Vota Roos with Samdale, and Portgieter, your top 5 there. Let's have a chat to Ian Pepper from the Husqvarna and Pepper Racing Stable.
I haven't been here since 2009, and when I left here, it was a good place for me to race. Lee's done an amazing job on getting the car right with a bit of problems we've had. We've found a little bit on the handling, so I think it's more of a handling problem than a horsepower that we got away from them. So, yeah, it was a very good race.
Nice to see Adrian Wood at the top end of Class B.
Got a good start off the line. I saw Lyle wanted to go up the inside of me, but he thought a little bit better. From there, I started pulling a nice gap from Lyle until we caught one of the back marker Class A's. He did get in the way a little bit, but luckily I managed to get ahead of him. But by then, my gap to Lyle was completely destroyed. So we had to work to then try and get away from Lyle as much as what we can.
Class C victory cements some more points there for Rory Atkinson.
Having had a great morning. A pity poor Sean's linkage went. I think he was going to be strong the second half of the race. But the guys behind had a fantastic Dyson race, and Chris from Posse Drive also had a great drive back to the front there, man.
Okay, so let's get these Posse Drive cars ready for race number 2 now. A bit of work at the front end, I think, for Valdi Monkeys. Look out for Stian Creel. They definitely have to try something because Pepper just seems to have the edge over them here in Class A. Class B, I think it's going to be another epic battle. Rob, keep an eye out. I think we might see a bit of a change up there. Watch out for that Munro car. Lyle Ramsey wants some victories.
Yeah, Lyle Ramsey, we saw him wrestling the car in race number 1. Going to pretty much do the same in race number 2 as Class A get underway, and looks like a much better start there from Stian Creel on the inside of Ian Pepper. So this time Pepper not having it all his own way, back on board here now with Class B driver Andre Kalitz going into turn 1. You can see already losing out there, so not the start he would have wanted, but Lyle Ramsey right where he wants to be at the sharp end of the field.
As they pile through turn 1, good start here from the Class Cs. Once again, it's Atkinson who leads them up, but look at Vota. Vota Roos already onto the dirty stuff around the outside, heading down this big pack of Class C contenders. And as they go through there, well, it's Atkinson who leads things out, but keep an eye out on the little battle coming from behind. Kraus is back in it, the Ancro Building Projects Polo, but at the front, it is once again top 3, and the Waynes are at it again. But this time, they've got Devin Piazza-Musso as the meat in the sandwich between the two of them.
They've also got car number 6, Gavin Ross. He's back in the mix there. Valdu Meinkies with some hand gestures there. So already some bumping and bashing going on here on lap number 1. You see the fighting the steering wheel now through the right hander. Just clipping the inside of the curb there was Ian Pepper as it's flat out stuff now onto the back straight for the first time.
Probably about 4th or 5th gear there. Absolutely everything she's got, pedal to the metal. As they come onto that back straightaway now, trying to find some kind of maneuver to get into the trailer position behind these cars. You've got to be right in the slip of the car if you want to make it stick through there. And none of them are close enough just yet. Maybe just seeing where things are going to happen here. Find where those chinks in the armor, they would know where they are because they've seen it already in race number 1. At the front end of Class B though, another contender, the Megatron car there of Quinton Needham. He's now up ahead of Jacques Smith. So Smith didn't get quite the start he wanted. Kalitz a bit sideways. Might be just battling with a bit of grip out there. Leon Odendahl doing a great job in the lone Polo Classic at the back end of Class B, but currently looking for a top 7 or 8th position in the G&H Transport sponsored and Golden Era Polo.
Oh, that's getting a little bit tight there now going into the final turn, but it just shows you the talent and the caliber of drivers that we have in this class. Sideways stuff through the fast right handers there. As look at this now, Ian Pepper starting to challenge Creel, and they come together. That's mirror bashing, and Ian Pepper used to where he's being out on the dirty stuff, so that won't phase him at all. But already getting a little bit physical out front between Pepper and Stian Creel. So Valdu Meinkies just sitting back and saying, you guys have your fun, and I'll just pick up the pieces of whatever's left after your battle.
I just love looking in the rearview mirror. Pepper's eyes didn't even touch. Here it comes, retribution. Pepper on the inside, and he's going to just force him. Oh yes, I thought that might come. Valdi Mikey's in the best spot in the house to watch that action. Pepper now is going to be side by side with Mikey's. Mikey's just tuck in behind, but something's going to go wrong there at the front end. Just hang tight.
get that duct tape out because these boys are starting to bash it up. Lyle Ramsey still running there in second place in Class B, just behind Adrian Wood. And in Class C, it's pretty much about Rory Atkinson. Great to see Sean Kraus and Chris Dale not too far behind there. So the battle for Class C is still raging further down the field.
Yeah, lovely stuff all the way through. And Ramsey trying to close down. Hasn't quite bridged that gap just yet, but just behind him, the battle for third and fourth place. As Ramsey
It's
gets
such a
sideways.
beautiful shot through that right-hander. The skill of the drivers out here is absolutely incredible. And great camera work here at the Extreme Festival of Motorsport once again.
Chris Dale under attack now from Vota. Vota once by. And here we go, back to the front of Class A. Pepper, this time just lets Creel go through. He realizes that Creel is going defensive, and how much more defensive do you want to go? Diving to the right-hand side, he's got to stay there. If he comes across there, it'll kind of be an illegal move. And now Pepper around the outside of the toe of the boot, which means if he stays in that position, he'll have the inside line for Coke. Can he get on the inside line for the Coke bottle turn? He's there. Is he good enough on the brakes? Yes, indeed. Thanks for coming.
And Greg, look what that's doing. It's closing up the whole field now. So while these two are hustling, the likes of Piazza Musso, Wayne Kraus and Wayne Masters have now come straight back into contention as we go on board here with Valdu Mainkies. He's now right in the tail there of Stian Creel. And Creel, does he have an answer for Ian Pepper ahead of him? He's right on the tail. And look how close do you want to get? And Creel gets a little bit sideways, loses a lot of drive and ramps over the curve there into the fast right-hander.
Second Unchini, you want to be on the black stuff. You don't want to be on the dirty stuff. It's going to cost him dearly. He's going to drop right out of contention there and possibly into the clutches of Kraus and Masters if they were able to stay on track with that bit of evasive
look
driving.
at the dirty stuff.
Woohoo! Everybody's getting sideways now. It's great to see this. This is the kind of action we've seen. Mike Barbiger having a super run there in the two-face car, and just behind him, some more cars going off track as the Golf 1 got completely sideways there of Gossman.
Ian Pepper, he will come across the line. It's a double victory for the day for the Husqvarna Racing man. And further back in Class B, it will be Adrian Wood, but look how close it is between Lyle Ramsey and Jacques Smith. It will be Ramsey just, but only just ahead of Smith.
So double victory there going to all three categories as Rory Atkinson comes through for his double. Great effort there from Woody to take the double, and as we mentioned, great stuff from Class C. There's Class A: Pepper, Mainkies, Creel, Piazza Musso, Gavin Ross, Sean Neal, Bob Neal, and Wayne Kraus making up the top 8.
In Class B, it was Adrian Wood, Lyle Ramsey, Jacques Smith, as close as you like, Andre Kalitz, Quinton Niemann, and Luan Roos rounding out your top 6.
In Class C, it was Atkinson with the double, Sean Kraus, Chris Dale, Sam Dale, Vota Roos, Greg Gossman, and Pete Phakisa making up the top 7. In the championship, it is even Steven between Atkinson and Wood heading into the next round. Stian Creel in third place and Pepper starting to close. Valdi Mainkies having one of his best drives. Let's catch up with him.
It's been a horrific season. I think we've come to the point where we've turned it around. It's been a very good day. You know, the car's been consistent thanks to Lee Thompson and the team that's helped me to get the car on the pace.
Championship points, but definitely not happy with second place. Lyle Ramsey.
Race 1 and 2, Adrian first, me second. But I'll tell you what, from Swartkorp's race we caught up a lot, and I have to say thank you to Monroe and Fuchs, and just a thank you to everyone who ever helped me. That's just a huge thanks. I couldn't do it without you.
From zero to hero in second place, Sean Kraus.
The second heat, a lot better. Got a good pull away, but Pete Phakisa was a little bit quicker off the line than all of us. I got past him on the second lap and tried to catch up on Rory. There was just not enough laps to catch up.